I've never done a video on the Ram 1500 Rebel. I have done some on the Traill Boss in the past. So something I want to say is this. These trucks are like almost perfectly matched up. And that's a good thing because I'm going to be comparing them, obviously, as you see in the title. But I really do think that if you really look at both of these trucks, they are so similar in how they handle things. Now, one thing for certain is it does have off-road tires on both, as you can see, and they're both the same tire. They're the Goodyear Wranglers. Only difference is Ram loves those white on the lettering for the wheels. But today we're going to compare them. We're going to see which one has good options, which one is a little bit more off-road like, more or less. Unfortunately, I don't have like a place to show you any articulation, but it doesn't matter. This is still going to be a good video. I'm going to do a part 2. I'm going to go over fuel economy, on-road manners, and we will pretty much see which one comes out on top. So let's go ahead and get into the video. One thing that you'll notice about the GM Traill Boss is it's pretty contemporary in its styling. It's not too far off from a regular LT Silverado. You do have LED headlights and you do have incandescent turn signals, LED accent light. The grille is pretty much unchanged from what I can see. It might be a little different from the regular one, but what really sticks out are those red tow hooks down below. You do have LED fog lights. And I believe this little piece on the side is slightly different or changed for the Traill Boss. Hood is pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive. Now when you walk over to the Ram, I think really stepped it up on their game. I think they really did a good job. I will give them the kudos. That lower bumper is different from the regular one. It has like that off-road look to it. And this one also has LED headlights, and it has full LED headlights too, high and low beams, just like the GM, but it has LED turn signals as well. The grille is going to be completely different from what you see on a regular Ram truck. So when you see a Rebel pull up, it's clearly a off-road oriented truck. The tow hooks are down below. They have like a silver painted lower like diffuser, whatever you want to call that. And I just like how they give you more clearance where the tire is, so if you're needing to go up on some rocks, as you can see over there, you don't damage that bumper. Now let's go under here and see if they have any skid plates, because that's equally as important, right? So on this one, I do not see a skid plate. I do see some aluminum and some Bilstein shocks, however, and those are pretty good shocks, by the way, too. They do help with on-the-road manners. Let's go check out the GM. So the GM does have this little plastic shroud right here, and they have like a plate right here to kind of protect that four-wheel drive transfer case and a few other things down below too. Now this one, as you guys can see, uses Rancho shocks. In the comment section, which one would you prefer, Rancho or Bilstein? And then this one does have steel control arms compared to the aluminum ones on the Ram. And one thing you really have to take note of is the hood on the Ram. This is a performance hood, and it really just adds just a lot of flair to the already ridiculous Rebel, which looks really good. So who does the win go to for the front end? Well, I have to tell you, I think I like the Ram a little bit better. I know I own a Ram, I know, but hear me out. I think that Ram took it a step further, personally. I think the GM truck is a little bit too contemporary for it being more off-road oriented, so win definitely goes to the Ram. So let's go ahead and pop the hoods and let's see what drivetrains come available with these two trucks. Under the hood of the Ram, you have a 5.7 eTorque V8, which is like a mild hybrid system basically. And then under the hood of this Chevy Silverado is a 5.3 liter V8. So this is gonna have a 10-speed transmission. This is gonna have an 8-speed transmission. And I can't wait to do a comparison for fuel mileage. Now, if you're wondering, this Ram has 395 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. You heard that correctly, 410. It also has a additional 130 pounds of supplemental launch torque, as Ram calls it. I don't know what that really means, but it does give you some off-the-line performance from this like generator. This has like a battery pack, and the stop-start function works really good on this truck too, I will say. And we'll test that out too soon enough. But check out everything under here. The transmission is a ZF. It's an 8HP 75, and from what I've been told and what I've found is it's great in terms of getting the RPMs low. It's really good at putting the power down, and it's definitely something that I would be happy about if I own a Ram truck. So the GM truck is over here flexing on the Ram. Now, this is going to be a 5.3 liter displacement V8. It's going to be good for 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque, and it's made it to a 10-speed. Now, GM says, okay, I know we don't have as much power as that 5.7 over there. However, they do have one more card to play. They have a 6.2 liter V8 available for the Chevy Silverado. It's going to be good for 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, and it still comes with the 10-speed. Now, I will say, the Ram does have a 392 rear end. This one has a 323. So I can't wait to see the performance from zero. I don't know. Although this is the 5.3, so we kind of know what's going to happen. They don't have a 6.2 liter here at the dealership, unfortunately. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out in another video. So let's go ahead and look at the side view of both trucks, starting with the Chevy. So one win that the GM's going to get is this does come with a 2-inch lift, and this one does have an optional 20-inch wheel too, so you can get an 18 standard or you can upgrade to the 20-inch. So this 20-inch is wrapped in a 265/60/20, and this is a Goodyear Wrangler tire, and they look really good. They look really meaty, and I believe these are 33-inch tires. If you walk over to the Ram, this is going to have a 1-inch raised height over the standard Ram 1500, and it too has the same tire setup. So it has a Goodyear Wrangler, however it's just an 18-inch wheel, and this is a LT 275/70. So I don't know, I think that the win goes to Chevy because you can get that optional 20 if you don't really care to have the smaller wheel. However, that's not available for the Ram. You can get a night edition to black out the wheel too if you'd like, and that's just something that's interesting. So we're going to talk about something that's controversial in the truck segment on all fronts for Ford, all of them, and that's this right here. So this truck has a standard 23-gallon tank. GM trucks come with a 24-gallon tank, and that's it. You can't get an upgraded fuel tank, and so I think this is a better way to go because you can get a 33-gallon fuel tank with the Ram trucks. That is a huge thing for me, especially that I tow. This has a bigger tank than my 3500, so kudos to Ram at least giving it a bigger fuel tank option to the half-ton segment. But thumbs down for my Ram 3500, I guess. Alrighty, we gotta talk about the bed sizes. So one thing I like about the Traill Boss that you cannot get on the Ram is the fact that you can get a short bed or a standard bed size configuration. So you can get a little bit longer bed compared to the Ram. So you only can get the short bed in the Rebel. There is a longer bed available, you just can't get it on this truck, unfortunately. Now if you do get the Rebel, it does come standard with these tail lights. They are obviously LED. They do darken them a little bit too to give it that more flare. You have dual exhaust down below. Ram's been doing this for years, and this one does have a class 4 receiving hitch, 2-inch opening, 4 and 7-pin connector. Same thing goes as far as the hitch goes on this side. They do have dual exhaust down below too. Now one thing that Chevy has is they do have steps on both sides of the bumper, and that is another advantage and win to the GM. I'm not keeping track of these wins, but so far it seems like GM's been winning these last few ones. So they do give you a light here for your conventional hitch, and you do have a backup camera. And something that Ram added to theirs is they do have a light down below too. They give you a little bit more illumination. And that's mainly for your conventional hitch too. Now the back of the tailgate does spill out Ram on the back, has the Rebel badge. And on this side, you don't know that you have a Traill Boss unless you look on the side of the bed here. Taillights aren't darkened, so these are the standard taillights you would see on the regular Silverado. And I think even on the ZR2, unfortunately, they're the same style too. They don't really darken them or anything for you, but there is some LED lights in there and some incandescent lights too. But on the Ram, everything's LED. Alrighty, so this is where everything goes downhill for the Silverado, and that is an LTD. I tried to wait for a Silverado with a new interior, but Chevy's not sending them out here in Maryland, so there's just very few of them, and when they do get here, they're selling, so I have to do this comparison, unfortunately, with the old interior. But nevertheless, it would probably still win because there's just a lot more flair in the Rebel. You have this red accents, it looks amazing. Now this is the base interior, so you do have some vinyl and some leatherette. You do have a cloth insert right here. Really cool, really nice. Love the red and black. It looks so nice. Now the door card, you do have some red and like grayish stitching here. Really nice accents. Love the door handle, aluminum look. You can power fold these mirrors. They are heated, and you do have automatic up and down for the front mirrors too. Down below, you can adjust those pedals. This has a telescoping steering wheel. The list goes on and on and on. Push button start, and check out the gauge cluster. This one does have an option to have a 12-inch display, but even the standard screen, although this is not the standard screen, I don't believe. This is not the standard screen. The 8.4 is a little bit bigger than what you'll see in that Chevy. And you have all your seat controls down below. This does not have dual climate control, but it is available with that too. Let's go ahead and start this up. Now, as far as your full drive system goes, this does not have an auto. That's the only thing that it's missing. I do not like the dial, however. This is something that I don't care for, but you can get a GT package that will delete this. You do have a rear axle lock, downhill assist, and this is just your stop-start function too. Trailer brake, and then you have your tow hubble, traction control. Tons of USBs, tons of storage. This is a well thought out truck in comparison with that GM. I think that the way that Ram did this interior, the way that they really set this up, it's just a better interior, and just the options that you can get really expensive on this. You can get up to 77 grand probably and not even bat an eye because there's so many different things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior on the GM truck. This does not have navigation, by the way, too, but that is available if you'd like it. It does have Apple CarPlay. Alrighty, so like I said, GM got really lazy on the interior. Now this still looks nice, still has soft touch, nice features, but they decided to go with a wood trim piece, and the interior, it's okay. It's just not something that I would love to pull up next to if I saw this Ram Rebel. I think some people will probably love the red, some people will hate it, and this is still a nice interior. I'm not saying it's not. It's just getting out of that Ram and getting into this, I forgot that I was in a Traill Boss. Oh yeah, this still is a Traill Boss. Okay, just want to make sure. So we're going to jump in here, and they do still have that automatic for your full drive system. This does have push button start, and your gauges, everything, it's just not as nice. That's just the best way to put it. This does have dual climate control, and because of the chip shoulders, the heated seats do not work. You have two USBs, you have a power plug. It's missing a trailer brake and then another power plug on this side, but you got some storage, cup holders, center console, pretty deep, pretty wide. There's no USBs or anything inside of this area. I think that Ram just did it a little bit better. I think that once I see the new interior, I'll be able to have a better view of everything, but this truck just is lacking quite a bit, I think. you do have LED interior lights. So let's go out back real quickly. Forgot to mention too, on the door, you do not have an auto fold function, and you only have auto up and down for just the driver's side. Auto down for everything else. And then here is the back. .60-40 bench. And this cab out back is decently sized. It's not that big. You do have some USBs, air vents. I do love this about the GM trucks. This is a really cool little cubby for your kids if they want to put their toys in here or something like that. Really cool, you know, detail. And then this one does have LED lights, and that comes standard. However, on the Ram side of things, I didn't know this is, but you do have black door handles compared to the painted ones. And this has a smart key system. This one does not. But on the interior side of things, this cab's just a little bit bigger. Hold on, let me just take this out of here real quickly. Yeah, check out the space you have in this one. This one does have a 60-40 bench. This pop up. This one does have incandescent bulbs too for the interior. But you can get LED. You can really dress up this interior. You have USBs and outboard heated seats, things like that, if you pick the right trim packages. But this truck is more expensive too. I didn't mention that, and I'm going to show that to you guys here in a second. But in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. I think that my win goes to the Ram 100%. It's not being biased. It's just what we have in front of us right now, and I just think that this one is just a better interior. I could live with this day to day. I love the red. I think it looks really, really clean, really cool. And these seats do hold up well too, because I drove a Ram Rebel from 2019 that had about 120,000 miles on it, and the interior pretty much looked brand new still. So here's the window sticker for this Silverado. I normally show this at the beginning, but I just wanted to show you guys around the trucks first this time. But this truck doesn't have a lot of options on it. The safety package has a lane change alert, side blind zone alert, and then rear cross traffic alert, bed protection. So it has a spray and bed liner. It has those 20-inch wheels, as I mentioned. And like I said, a few things are credited back to you since they don't work. And that's pretty much it. So total price is $56,095. Now the Ram, the base price of this one was $53,895, and base was $52,500 on the Chevy. But check out your options on this Ram. So it has a Rebel level 1 equipment, so it does come with that 8.4-inch display and heated seats, things like that, power folding mirrors. So all that stuff is an option. And then this one does have an optional 5.7 V8. You would get a V6 standard for this one. There's a few other things like the trailer brake, that was option 2 on the Ram, and then remote start is available for this one. And I believe the GM has a remote start system too. So destination is $17.95 versus the $16.95 for the GM. And then total price of this one is a little bit higher at $61,620. Here's the fuel economy numbers with the Ram. And then here it is for the GM. Before I finish off and show you guys the numbers on the door so you guys can see the payload and everything, I wanted to show you the screens here, just to show you everything that these have. So this one does have Apple CarPlay as well. This is the home screen here. And the last thing I wanted to show you was the camera view back here. So you can have a backup camera to show just a few features. I don't see that you can zoom in on this one. So that's one thing I don't see on this one. So let's go ahead and look at the Ram next. Alrighty, and then here's the layout of this one. And then let's go ahead and put it in reverse. You can zoom in on this one. Actually, it's right here. And I think this is a little bit more clear actually. Not bad. So let's take a look at the numbers for the Ram first. The gross axle rate rating up front is going to be 3,900 pounds. The rear is going to be 4,100 pounds with a 7,100 pound GVWR. And take note, the wheels are 18 by 8 inch wheels too. And then here's your all-in payload capacity at 1,539 pounds. Not too bad actually. I do like this setup a lot better on the GM trucks, how they do this. So they give you this plate for trailering. Now the gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 3,800 pounds. And then the gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 7,000 pounds. Gross combined 15K. The rear is 3,800 pounds too. Curb weight is 5,273, so this truck's pretty light. Max payload is 1,727 pounds. So this does have a higher payload capacity. And it has a lower GVWR, so this truck's a little bit lighter than the Ram overall. And then 9,200 pounds for conventional towing, 8,400 pounds for gooseneck. And the Ram is definitely a little bit heavier and has less payload capacity, which is definitely more important in my book. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I am going to do a part 2 for this. So we're going to basically be comparing these two trucks for driving. So stay tuned for that. And be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Be sure you comment on the video too. Love to hear what you guys have to say about the video. And I will see you guys soon.